Ok, xin chào mọi người, chào mừng đến với Học Tiếng Anh OK. Hôm nay chúng ta sẽ có một cuộc trò chuyện về du lịch.
Yeah, today we are talking about what it's like to travel in America. And we recently traveled to Vietnam. And so we are going to tell you some vocabulary words that have to do with travel and tell you a little bit about what travel looks like in America. A few months ago, we both went to Vietnam. We went to different places, so we didn't see each other. But the way that a trip starts, you gather with your family, you plan a few months ahead of time to see like when's a good time to go, buy your ticket online, it's super easy, you have it on your phone, and then you try to get to the airport. If you're flying international, you try to get to the airport 2 hours early. So we hop in the car, we drive to the airport, it's about 45 minutes away from my house, and then we drive to the airport, we get there, we check all of our bags, and then we go through security. What else did we do after that?
After you check your bags and go through security, then you end up sitting waiting at the terminal. And that's kind of where all the planes come to pick up people. So you're sitting there waiting in all the chairs with everyone else. Depending on when your flight leaves, it might get delayed, so you have some extra time at the airport. So you get to wander around and shop at all the shops or get food. My family, usually when we go to fly in the morning, then we'll go get smoothies. We'll hit up Jamba Juice.
That's a good idea.
We'll just drink some smoothies. So good. But once your flight's ready to leave, then they'll start boarding, and they'll do it in sections depending on who you fly with. But once your section gets called, you go up, line up, show your ticket, show your passport. If you're flying international, then after that you go down the long walkway onto the plane. You sit there while they prepare for takeoff, and that usually takes, 20, 30 minutes?
Yeah, usually. Sometimes more, and you don't know why. It's really frustrating. And then you just sit back, you relax, buckle on your seatbelt, and you try to fall asleep. At least I do, because there's really not a whole lot else to do. A lot of planes in America have TVs on them, which is really nice. And so you can watch movies, you can watch TV, you can listen to music. And they also, a lot of times, have Wi-Fi. And so sometimes I'll just pull out my phone, put my headphones on, and watch whatever movies or shows I have on my phone. Or I'll try to get some homework done or whatever I have to do.
And with that flight to Vietnam, at least from where I flew out, it was like 12 hours.
It's longer than that for me. It was like, so our first flight was 12, and then we had another flight that was like 6 hours after that.
Okay. That's right. Did you fly from to Korea? Or?
No, we flew from Boston. We flew directly from Boston to Tokyo, which is insane. It's so far. We flew up over... So I came from Utah. I flew from Utah to Boston, and then a few days later I got on the plane and flew from Boston back over the entire United States, over Canada, over the ocean, and all the way down to Tokyo. And we flew from Tokyo to Hanoi.
Holy buckets, man.
Yeah. It was a long
far,
way.
Man.
It was a long, long way.
Yeah. So that's a long flight, to say the least. Like, you're there. Did you do a red-eye flight, or...?
No, we left at like 7 in the morning,
Okay.
which was really strange because we were just flying for the whole day.
Mm-hmm.
It was so crazy. And this plane that we were on, they dim the windows down so that it looks like it's nighttime outside. So I slept for a long time, actually, because my body thought it was nighttime.
Dang.
Yeah.
I cannot sleep on airplanes. Like, it's so difficult. So I spend most of my time watching movies when I'm
There you go.
on those flights. I think I get through like 5 or 6 different movies. But by the time I get to where we are, by the time we got to Vietnam, like, I didn't remember any of the movies I'd seen.
Just too tired.
Way too tired, way jet lagged, didn't know what day it was, super disoriented. But yeah, once we got there, what did you end up doing?
I went to sleep right away. We got in our beds, went to our hotel, and we got in our beds. And then in the morning, I went to Family Mart, and I got... Oh, it wasn't Family Mart, it was Circle K. And I got some ramen, and it was so good. I missed the ramen in Vietnam. It's so hard to find ramen like that in America. But it was delicious. So, yeah, and I brought my little brothers around. I showed them part of the city. We were in Hanoi, close to the opera house in Hanoi. and we just walked around, and it was a blast. What'd you do?
I'm trying to remember. I think similar to that, we got to Ho Chi Minh City, and then we spent the night, slept, got up the next morning, went to church, visited some friends, and then after that we went to eat. I think we got there Christmas Day.
Wow.
Or we got there Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day was the next day.
Nice.
So we were there, we went and ate dinner with some friends, but we were all so jet lagged by the time we got there that we were like falling asleep during dinner. Yeah. They're like, yeah, it's fine, it's all right, don't worry about it.
Just the thought of that makes me tired because it was such an exhausting trip. But yeah.
I remember when I first went to Vietnam and I was trying to study in the morning at 10, 11, something like that. I would be falling asleep every time, the same time. And then I realized it's because that was nighttime, when I would normally be sleeping in America. So I was like, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's hard. That's a big thing. Time change is huge. I think for us it's 13 hours. In America right now it's 10:50 a.m. and in Vietnam it's 11:50 p.m. or 23:50.
Yeah, I feel like that's something different. I know people in America use the 24-hour clock, but I feel like that's more of a military thing. Yep. It's not a ton of people use that, but over in Vietnam, everyone uses that. It's super normal. And that took some adjusting too, looking at the flight schedules and stuff, trying to figure out when my stuff was. I was like, when do I leave? What's my departure?
Honestly, probably would make things a lot easier because you would never have to worry about scheduling, but because it would always be okay, you're at Muay Sao, or you're at it'd be easier.
Yeah. I don't know. Time's weird.
Awesome. Well, let us know if you have any questions about travel, and thank you for watching our video.